It's time for Venus Audio Reads. I read, you listen. Balloon by Venus Night. I left him in bed. The thin white sheet, almost like a veil, covered the parts of him I had been lusting after for a week and 3 days. Our rendezvous were few. The fantasies of being with him often put me in a daze, as I felt like I was faking life with my husband. Though I knew when I was with him in our secret hotel, I was pretending in order to save myself. The cab parked in front of me and the hotel, and before I got in, I looked up at the second floor window. As always, he was there, the curtain pulled, and him staring down at me, smiling till the next time we could sneak away and be lovers. I smiled back, got in, and told the driver where to take me. "Can you drop me off here? I need to stop at the market," I told the driver. He obliged, and I gave him $48. My day started like a mission. See my lover, stop for wine and fancy cheese, and visit my friend Shelly for her birthday. So far, I was winning. I placed 2 bottles of something white in my cart, grabbed a bundle of $10 flowers, and just before I can turn the cart to roam the next aisle, I saw the floating balloon held by a blue string tied to a shiny blue decorative weight on the floor. The metallic pink balloon was the shape of the number 1, just a 1, standing alone. I laughed. Shelly hates balloons. Shelly and I met 1 year ago at a party for our husband's mutual coworker, Richard. His partner covered his small, quaint backyard with gold balloons. "What a waste of time and money," she said. I didn't know her at the time, but she was sitting right next to me, and we were the only ones sitting side by side on wobbly folding chairs. "I'm sorry, you said something?" I laughed a little. "I don't like balloons. They are the dumbest thing to have in an adult party." "But they look nice," I lied. "No, they don't. Flowers are nice and candles are nice. Richard turned 50, not 5, she said. We both laughed and talked about how crazy it was that our husbands worked together and we had never met. She told me her birthday was next week and she would kill her husband if he even thought about giving her a damn balloon. Our cackling continued through the night and over days. We had plenty in common, like gossiping, watching Lifetime movies, and finding ways to be occupied while our husbands worked long hours as surgeons. A year later, I was shopping for my friend, excited to see her and celebrate with her. Shelly was possibly my best friend. I have other friends, but my connection with her gave me something intimate and personal. We shared everything, along with laughs. We shared our weariness, disappointments, and loneliness. I was so comfortable with Shelly that I wanted to tell her things I couldn't. Things that were just for me. Maybe today I would. Maybe she would understand. Maybe I would be surprised to find she had a secret life too. It was hard being the wife of someone who played God at work and dropped dead at home. Maybe I could tell her, once the wine bottles were half empty, our bellies were tight, and the moon peeked in, I could tell her how I was surviving my marriage alone. I laughed at myself standing in line with my cart and Shelly's new birthday balloon. I fantasized about how she would react and what she would say. "You know I fucking hate balloons, Kyah." That's what she would say. She laughed at my audacity. She would poke a hole in it and cut it while we laughed and sipped our wine. I rode to the 25th floor, my bag of goodies and my number one balloon in hand. Shelly opened the door and screamed when she saw it. What the fuck, Kyah? She grabbed the blue string and pulled the balloon into the penthouse apartment. Then she hugged me tight, still screaming, echoing her glee into the long hallway. I know you hate balloons, but I couldn't resist. It's your birthday and our 1 year anniversary. Get in here, she said. Damn, has it only been a year? I know, right? Feels like we've known each other for years, I said. That's because we're the same person. We were. Shelly and I resembled each other in so many ways. Though her skin was lighter than mine, our hair was brown, long, and curly with golden highlights we didn't plan. And we were both blessed with long, slender bodies and D cups. Mine were manufactured. We loved our Lululemon wardrobes and Nike Air sneakers. We sat on her plush eggshell white rug in the middle of her living room floor, picking from her charcuterie platter and sipping our wine. Shelly told me she was packing to go to Paris with her husband, a gift he had promised since they married 7 years ago. He took some time off to be with her, which made us different. She was excited, and we watched YouTube videos to help her understand the do's and don'ts of a foreign country. When's the last time you and Brian vacation? She asked while uncorking the second bottle of wine. 2 years ago, I said. He took me to Bermuda for 4 days. He had to leave early, so I flew home by myself. I gulped the remaining wine and lifted my glass for a refill. Damn, Kyah, I'm sorry. You need Philip to talk to him? No, I said. I'm used to it. Shelly connected her eyes with mine. You shouldn't be. I had to threaten divorce just to get Philip to remember he had a wife. I stopped sipping when she said that. I thought for a moment, and with hesitation in my heart, I asked her, Shelly, do you think it's all work? Is it possible they're away from home doing something else? Don't go there, Kyah. She cut me off. They're just workaholics. Yes, it was attractive at first, but now they're just ego-driven pricks who figured they'd marry some young women and lavish us with money and pretty things while they're off saving the damn world. You should hear him talk about how people would die if it wasn't for him. It's nauseating. And your Brian is the same way. We're the same, she said, throwing a cheese square into her mouth. I noticed the wine had worked its way with Shelly. My heart fluttered with what she was saying to me. I swallowed hard and tempted fate with another question. Shelly, have you ever thought about stepping out? Shelly put her glass down and lowered her eyebrows. What are you talking about now? Cheating? No, that's for quitters. Besides, my old egomaniac still turns me on. She stopped chewing and looked at me in my eye. Why? Are you cheating? The nervousness made me shake my head no. Shelly chuckled and swiped another cheese square. Then stop asking crazy questions. I know it's hard being the wives, but we got each other. And our balloon. She pointed at it as it slowly swayed back and forth, still dangling from the thin blue ribbon. My laugh was just to go along with hers. I felt the wetness under my breasts and underarms. The need to do something else forced me up off the floor. I have to pee out this wine, I said. You remember where the bathroom is? I didn't answer, but swayed a little as my body rose. The wine had got me as well, and I was bogged down, knowing I couldn't share my secret with my best friend or anyone. I was alone in it. The hallway was long and dimly lit. I knew the bathroom was in the direction I was heading, but where? I gently opened and closed doors, searching for space to breathe, to calm my nerves. The way this uneasy feeling pulsated through me, any room would do. I opened the door, closed it, and immediately sat on the first seat for solace. I looked around to see a room almost as large as Shelly's living room. The lights were low, just like the hallway, but there was enough light for me to see I was in a bedroom. 7 feet away sat a huge king-size bed introduced by an archway in front of me. On my right, the French oak armoire Shelley inherited from her deceased grandma she cried about last spring. On my left was her grandmother's dark wood antique dresser. This must be the same guest room she had bragged about designing herself. I got up to look closer at her creation. This is again where we are the same. Shelley studied interior design and I designed wedding dresses. So when the 8x10 gold picture frame featuring a wedding party and a woman adorned in a beautiful eggshell white strapless charmeuse wedding dress caught my eye, I held my chest and gasped. I grabbed myself and sat back down, wanting to throw up at the sight of it. There you are! You found my room! I love this room. All my favorite things are in it, Shelley said. I sat silent, still shivering inside like I had seen a ghost. What's wrong, Kyah? She noticed my inner chaos. I don't feel well, I said. Oh no. She kneeled down and looked up at me. Her warm hand touched my cheek, and she moaned. Was it too much wine? She asked. It's my stomach. I didn't eat much today before drinking. Shelley cozied herself on the floor beside me and rested her head on my lap. Let me take care of you, Kyah. I can make you some tea and a nice bowl of lentil soup. That will calm your stomach. I let my hands flow down her curls. This is a beautiful room, Shelley. Thanks. I'm going to put my balloon in here, she said. I love the pictures on your grandma's dresser. Who's the bride? I swallowed hard. It's my sister's wedding. I wish I knew you then. You could have designed her dress, she said. Shelley, I should go home. My stomach rumbled with guilt, the familiar face haunting me in the photo. No, she pulled her head up. I'm not sending you home sick. You can lie here while I fix you something to eat. But I'm ruining your birthday, I said. Kyah, you couldn't ruin anything. I didn't want to be in the room with my secrets staring at me. So I walked with Shelley to her living room and laid on her burgundy chaise. She placed a bucket next to me, just in case. I listened to her being busy in her kitchen, humming and chopping something. I smelled the savory aromas from what she was creating for me. How would I resolve this? I couldn't have my secret and my best friend at the same time. I felt the air from her ceiling vents and watched the dancing balloon taunt me. Until I figured out what to do, I was just like this dangling balloon. We were the same. The end. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story and want it in the written form, you can go to medium.com and find more stories. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next week.